If loops and logic confuse you in Python, this video will clear everything step by step with real examples. Today we'll crack some of the most important Python questions that every beginner struggles with. Factorials, loops, break, continue, and patterns. Okay, so let's start with the first question we have. It is about factorial, right? So factorial, if you look from maths perspective, also it looks very scary at first, but once you see the logic, understand the logic, it is one of the easiest problem to solve, but again with the help of loop. So let's understand the factorial. Let's suppose we are writing 4 factorial, right? So if we understand the meaning, it is 4 multiplied by 4 minus 1, that is 3, multiplied by 3 minus 1, that is 2, multiplied by 1. Okay, till 1 we will be multiplying. And the answer is 24, right? Similarly, in case of 5 factorial, it will be 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1, which is 120, right? So basically what we are doing, we are starting from a number and we are continuously decreasing the number till that reaches 1. Okay, so what we'll do, let's enlarge the Python console. We'll be using a while loop. Okay, and let's define a function get factorial. The input will be any integer n, and what we'll do, while result will keep it as 1. Okay, while n is greater than or equal to 1, result is equal to result into n, and then we'll decrease the value of n. Okay, and then at the end, just a second, somehow it has not returned anything. What we'll do, we'll return the result. Okay, and let's test this. Get factorial of 5. So what it is doing, it is giving us the result 120, right? So again, like we understood the concept and the implementation was very easy for us. And factorial is not a magic. It is just repetitive multiplication using loops, right? And with this, we'll be moving to the next question. Okay, what we are doing, we are printing a star pattern. Okay, in the first line you can see we are printing 1 star, in the second line we are printing 2 star, the third line we are printing 3 stars. Okay, so star patterns, they are not actually about stars, they are about mastering the loops. If you understand the pattern, congratulations, loops are officially under your control. So what we'll attempt here, we'll try to bring loop under our control. So the first time we need to print 1 star, second times we need to print 2 star, and third time we need to print 3 stars. Now if you see, let's suppose I want to print 5 c's. Okay, 5 times c. So what I'll do, I'll multiply 5 by the string c, and if you see, 5 times c's are printed. Okay, so in the first loop I want 1, in the second I want 2, and in the third I want 3, and as soon as it reaches 3 I need to exit. So we'll initialize a counter I is equal to 1, and then I will do while I less than or equal to 3. Okay, I'll be printing uh, I times star. Okay, within single quotes. Somehow it is going to infinite loop. we should be doing I is equal to I minus or I plus 1 bracket, right? So you see, it has printed 1 star in the beginning because the value of I was 1. When we change the value of I to 2, it has printed 2 stars and then it has printed 3 stars, right? Now let's move to another very good use case of loops, which is break statement. Okay, let's suppose I want to, out of all the numbers present in this list, as soon as I encounter the first even number, I want to break out of this loop. Okay, because my job is to find the first even number. So you'll see how beautifully and easily we can do this with the help of break statement, right? So this is some list called LST, right? And what I'll do for I in LST, if we'll check if percentage 2 is equal to 0, then we'll be printing I, right? And we'll use the break statement, right? And if you run this, you will see as soon as it has encountered 14, it broke out of the loop. And this is the classical use case of break, right? Now we'll be moving to the next example where we are using continue. So when you see continue, you can say that we are using the pass statement, right? Let's suppose there is an example where we have different kind of inputs and I want to just print if the name of or the name of the species is either cat or dog, then I need to print, otherwise I will not print. Okay, so in that case we need to pass for any example which is not belonging to cat or dog. We need to pass, and for that passing purpose, what do? We use the continue. Okay, so let's suppose in this example I need to print all the odd numbers, but in case of even numbers I don't want to print. So we'll see how we can do that, right? Again, we'll be initializing the LST with this. For I in LST, if I percentage 2 is equal to 0, if it is even, then we are not doing anything, right? Then we'll write the else statement. Else print I, right? So what we are doing, basically we are passing in case of even numbers, and in case of odd numbers we are printing. So if you see the output, it has printed all the odd numbers, and for even numbers it has just passed, right? It has not done anything, right? And now we'll be moving to the next question. Okay, while loop. Okay, understand the while loop, because in most of the questions we have used for loop. Okay, in some we use the while loop also, but let's understand the while loop. Okay, I am still running. Okay, so in while loop, what happens? There is a condition. Okay, and based on the condition, okay, it will check the condition every time we run through the loop, we iterate through the loop, and based on the condition, if it satisfies, it will iterate. Else what happens? It will break out of the loop, right? So this happens. So for that we should have a increment or decrement operator. Let's suppose I write something like while I less than equal to 5, print I, and I'm not doing anything with I. Let's suppose I need to decrease I every time by 1, but instead I do not do anything. So what will happen? You will encounter an infinite loop, right? So we should have a termination condition. Also, we should have increment or decrement operator, so that the value of that particular variable keeps on changing, so that there is a time where we break out of the loop, or else we will keep running the infinite loop, right? So we'll understand with the same example. Okay, let's suppose we initialize I with 5, and we write while I greater than or equal to 0, Okay, and then we'll decrease the value of I, right? So if you see, it has written 6 number of times because from 5 till 0 there are 6 digits, right? And what if we omit this decrement operator? If you run it again, it is infinite loop, right? It will keep on running. So better we should have an increment or decrement operator so that we can exit out of the loop. I think this part is very clear. And let's move to the next question. Okay, loop through a string. Let's suppose I want to loop through a string. Okay, and I want to print whether it is having any vowels in it, right? So let's define vowels as something like A, E, I, O, U, right? And we have a word called overwhelming, right? And what we'll do while it iterate through the entire word, like we'll start with O, V, E, R, and then we'll end at somewhere around G. Okay, and we need to check whether that particular alphabet is a part of vowel or not. So for I in word, and because we are checking with lower, what I'll do, I will be changing the entire word into lowercase. If I in vowels print I, I'm just printing the vowels, right? So what happened? It printed O, right? O is a vowel. Then it has printed E, right? Again, it has printed E, and then at the very end, it has printed I, right? So I think this part is also clear with you guys. And if you understand these examples, you are already thinking like a programmer. Practice these 6 questions by yourself because there is only way to learn is by practicing. Okay, and the Python logic will never scare you again. Okay, and if you have stayed till this point in the video, please press the like button in the video, share the video with everyone you know. For them, it will be very helpful. And please subscribe to Akansha Academy so that the next video will make Python even easier for you. Okay, and for similar content, please keep watching Akansha Academy channel space, and we'll be back with another video. Thank you so much.